Often when I create a new email, I often use reoccurring or frequently repeated text. And so what I like to do is create quick parts. For example, people often ask me the same sorts of questions. And so what I like to do is I like to insert my frequently asked questions into my email. And that just saves a lot of toing and froing with emails. To quickly insert my frequently asked questions, I'll type FAQ and then I'll press the key, which is a function key, F3. By pressing F3, it automatically inserts my frequently asked questions, such as what is my cancellation policy, what is the venue, what time do we have morning tea, and what are the various costs. Besides inserting my frequently asked questions, there are other things I like to insert also. They may have asked, for example, for the Excel Stage 1 notes. So I'll type Excel 16, which is the version 2016, Stage 1, S1. When I press the function key F3, that will insert my Excel 2016 Stage 1 notes because I want to send them that. So if you have frequently repeated text or frequently used text that you just want to recall up quickly with a keyword, then you would use a quick part. How we create quick parts, if I go undo and undo again, the idea here is you would type what you wanted to say. Thank you. I have successfully received your registration on the Friday night. There will be a meet and greet, and the guest speaker will be blah 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 blah, and then continue. On the Saturday we will, and then you just continue and you just type everything that you want to say. Look forward to seeing you at the event. So perhaps I'm creating an event and I'm now receiving registrations for that event, and every time I receive a registration via email, I really just want to reply with a standard thank you and an itinerary of what's going on. So you type everything you want to say, including images, including bullets and numbering, including tables, including everything that you want, and then you select it. Once you select it, you go to the Insert tab in the ribbon and you go to Quick Parts. And here are all the quick parts I currently have, and as you can see I've got quite a few. I haven't even got past the A's yet. Now I'm going to save, right at the bottom here, save the selection to the Quick Part Gallery. And this is when you give it a name, and this is what you will type and then press F3. So I'm going to put registered. So they're registered. I'm going to save it to my quick parts in the general category, but there are various locations you could save it to, but I think just leaving it in that gallery, in that category, and then I dictate where I want to save it. Do I want to save it in my normal email file, or sometimes I get the option building blocks, but this one is normal email and it's just the content only, though I do have other options in here as well. So I'm going to go OK. Now if I delete that, whenever I type registered, see how it starts to come up? It starts to come up, especially if you've given it a decent sized name, it starts to come up with a prelude. Thank you, I've successfully on the Friday night. That is the quick part I want. So I could press enter to insert. But if it was earlier on the show and it hadn't come up yet, then I just press I just press the word registered and press F3, and that would bring it up. So sometimes if it starts to anticipate you and brings a little pop-up, just press enter. But if it doesn't anticipate you, continue to complete typing the word and then press F3, and that will bring it up. And it's really, really a massive time saver by immediately bringing up things. It could include things also like a picture. If I was to insert a picture, for example, and I was to go and get perhaps my logo. Here we go. And maybe I was to grab this logo. No. This logo. Whenever I want this logo, I'll go to Insert, quick parts, save the selection because I've got it clicked, save the selection to the quick part gallery, call it logo, and I'll go OK. Whenever I need the logo now, I just type logo and press F3, and that will immediately bring up the logo. Quick parts is something that's in Outlook and in Word, so if there's anything you want to be able to easily call out with a keyword, make a quick part. Now something else that's a massive time saver is autocorrect. I use autocorrect a lot. For example, when I type Excel and press the space bar, I'll go Microsoft Excel for Windows. If I do WW and press the space bar, I get Microsoft Word for Windows. If I go SS space bar, I'll get Software Solutions. NCB space bar, I'll get Cathi Barker. There are a lot of things that autocorrect automatically corrects as well, besides the ones that I've built in. For example, these includes 1/2 is a half, 1/4 is a quarter. It's been a bit slow. And besides fractions, it also does the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. So it does ordinals, fractions, ordinals. It also does typing corrections, such as Monday without a capital M. It will fix it and change it to a capital M. If I do a little I, it'll change it to a capital I. If I do bracket C bracket, it'll change it to a copyright, and bracket R bracket, it'll change it to registered. So there are all sorts of things that autocorrect automatically corrects, such as TEH. As soon as I hit the space bar, it'll change it to the. Now where this is coming from is under File, under Options, and it's to do with mail. If we then click the Spelling and Autocorrect button, we can go into the Autocorrect Options button, and this is where it's coming from. If you don't capitalize the first letter of a sentence because it's ticked, it will. If you don't capitalize the first letter of what you type in a table, it will. If you don't capitalize the name of a day like Monday, it will. And if you accidentally have your caps lock on, do not backspace. Simply press the space bar and it'll automatically correct any accidental use of caps lock. Also in here you can see replace bracket C bracket with copyright and bracket R bracket with registered. What you see in the left column when typed will be replaced with what's in the second column. And so it continues as the list goes down. These are all, the main lot of these are all Microsoft built in. I've only added a few. So if I was to type Excel, there's mine, Microsoft Excel for Windows, and there's my Microsoft Word for Windows. So for example, if I wanted to replace, let's have a think, MS with Microsoft, I would say replace MS with Microsoft and I'll add. I'll go OK and OK and OK. And whenever I type MS and press the space bar, it'll give me Microsoft. So think about words that you use on a regular basis or phrases you use on a regular basis and build them into autocorrect and save yourself a lot of time. Now autocorrect is also a shared feature. So whatever you add to autocorrect will automatically start appearing in Word, Excel and PowerPoint as well. If you need to insert a one-off symbol, on the Insert tab, you do have a button called Symbol. And if you need to insert a tick, or if you need to insert any sort of symbol, you can go into More Symbols. And under More Symbols, there are a lot of different fonts. Each font has its own collection of symbols. The common ones being Wingdings, Webdings, and Wingdings 2 and 3. Simply choose the type of symbol that you're after. So I might go to Wingdings and choose a square and insert and close. And you can simply insert those symbols into your email. Any character that's not on your keyboard, then go and look under Insert Symbol and you'll find it there. Another useful small feature on the Insert tab on the far right hand side is horizontal line. And I often use these horizontal lines to break up my emails and make them more easy to read by putting them into sections.